Imagine stepping into places where Earth feels less like home and more like a dream, where ice glows like crystal cathedrals, deserts turn into endless mirrors, and oceans light up with the glow of stars. From the fiery blue flames of an Indonesian volcano to the surreal marble palaces of Patagonia, today we're diving deep into nature's most mind-bending, magical masterpieces, each one a living story, fleeting and fragile, reminding us just how wild and wonderful our planet truly is. Ready to have your breath stolen? Let's go. Beneath Iceland's vast, icy crown, where fire and frost collide, lies a hidden world sculpted by time and pressure. The ice caves of Vaadhoo Glacier are as fleeting as they are magnificent, glowing tunnels of pure crystal, carved anew each winter by melting waters. No two caves are ever the same. They form, shift, collapse, and return again in endless cycles, making each visit a step into a living, breathing marvel of nature. Inside, the walls shimmer with shades of turquoise and cobalt. Light filters through meters of compressed snow and ice, giving the cave an ethereal glow that feels more celestial than terrestrial. Some ice is so clear you can see straight through it, like glass forged from centuries of snowfall. In other places, volcanic ash from ancient eruptions adds black and gray streaks, as if nature herself painted the ice. Walking through these caverns, the soundscape is hushed but alive. You can hear the ice groan and crack, the distant trickle of meltwater echoing through the frozen halls. It feels like standing inside a frozen lung, immense, fragile, and utterly alien. These caves are temporary masterpieces. With the changing climate, they're disappearing faster than ever before. To enter one is to step into a vanishing world, a place that won't exist in the same form next year or even next week. It's a reminder of how precious and fleeting Earth's wonders can be. Stretching across more than 10,000 square kilometers in southwestern Bolivia, Salar de Uyuni is the largest salt flat on Earth, a glittering white expanse, so flat, so blindingly bright, it looks like another planet. But when the rains come, this stark desert transforms into something miraculous. A shallow layer of water settles on the salt, turning the entire plain into a giant mirror. Suddenly the sky is beneath your feet, clouds float below you, stars glimmer at your toes, and the horizon vanishes into an infinite blur of reflection. It's as if you've stepped into the canvas of the gods. You can walk across the heavens, drive through a dream, or lie down and let the universe cradle you. Formed from the remnants of a prehistoric lake, Salar de Uyuni holds more than just visual magic. It contains vast reserves of lithium, the lifeblood of our modern batteries. But for those who visit, it's not the minerals they remember. It's the feeling, the utter silence, the surreal scale, the sensation of existing in a world where the rules of gravity and perception seem to pause. It's more than a landscape. It's a reflection of infinity. There are beaches, and then there's the beach on Vaadhoo Island, where the ocean turns to starlight. On certain nights, the waters that gently kiss the shore begin to glow with an unearthly blue light. Every wave, every ripple, every footprint in the wet sand triggers a brilliant shimmer, as though the Milky Way itself has fallen into the sea. This phenomenon is caused by bioluminescent plankton, tiny organisms called dinoflagellates, which light up when disturbed. It is one of nature's most enchanting spectacles. Walk along the shoreline, and you leave behind a trail of glowing footprints. Swim in the shallows, and your movements are lit by an aura of living light. There is no artificial illumination here, no neon, no spotlight, just the rhythm of the sea and the breath of light reacting to touch. Vaadhoo's sea of stars is not predictable. It can only be seen at certain times of year, in the right conditions. But when it happens, it is pure magic, like touching the edge of a dream. For a few brief hours, the boundary between ocean and sky disappears, and you find yourself surrounded by stars above and below. In East Java, Indonesia, the earth breathes fire and glows blue in the dead of night. This is Kawah Ijen, a volcano unlike any other. While most volcanoes spit red-hot lava, Ijen glows with neon blue flames, licking the darkness with ghostly tongues. These surreal fires are not lava, but ignited sulfuric gases. As they escape the crater's vents and meet the oxygen-rich night air, they ignite in a blue blaze that can shoot up to 5 meters high. The sight is otherworldly, a living reminder that our planet holds secrets even science struggles to explain. But the wonder doesn't stop there. Inside the crater lies a lake the color of turquoise jade, stunning but deadly. This is the world's largest acidic lake, its waters so toxic they could dissolve metal. Steam constantly rises from its surface, adding to the mystique. And then there are the sulfur miners. Every night, under the glow of the blue flame, these men descend into the crater to harvest solid sulfur. They carry loads up to 90 kilos on their shoulders, climbing back up the volcano's steep, crumbling paths. No protective gear, no modern tools, just grit, tradition, and survival. Kawah Ijen is a place of contradictions, beauty and danger, color and poison, fire and ice. It is Earth at its most raw and its most mesmerizing. Welcome to the Danakil Depression, Earth's hottest, driest, and most alien landscape, nestled deep within the Horn of Africa. This blistering basin in northeastern Ethiopia is often described as the closest you can get to walking on another planet without leaving Earth. With daytime temperatures soaring above 50 degrees, 122 degrees, acid pools bubbling with neon colors, and sulfuric steam vents hissing from the cracked ground. This is a place where life struggles, but wonder thrives. As you step into the Danakil, the colors assault your senses. Emerald green hot springs, framed by saffron yellow crusts, fiery orange salt ridges, and pools of cobalt blue, all formed by a cocktail of extreme heat, volcanic activity, and high salinity. It's a kaleidoscope of danger and beauty, constantly reshaped by the Earth's restless core beneath your feet. This otherworldly terrain sits at the junction of 3 tectonic plates, tearing apart the crust in slow motion. The ground here is literally opening up, creating one of the few places on Earth where you can see geology in action, raw and unfiltered. And yet, against all odds, life clings on. Microbial colonies adapted to extreme acidity and heat thrive in the pools. Scientists study them, hoping to understand what life might look like on Mars or Europa. Meanwhile, the Afar people, nomadic salt traders, continue their ancient tradition of mining salt from this harsh land, carving it into slabs and loading it onto camel caravans, a living echo of centuries past. The Danakil Depression is a paradox, infernal yet fascinating. It is a place where Earth reveals both its fury and its creativity, daring us to look, to learn, and to never underestimate the power beneath our feet. On the windswept edge of Patagonia, tucked along the shores of Chile's vast General Carrera Lake, lies a hidden masterpiece sculpted not by human hands, but by water and time. Welcome to the Marble Caves, a network of swirling, cathedral-like caverns carved into solid calcium carbonate, their walls painted in hues of blue, turquoise, and ivory. This is not just geology. This is liquid poetry set in stone. Accessible only by boat, the journey begins as you drift over glacially fed waters that shimmer with an otherworldly turquoise tint. As you approach the marble formations, the sunlight bounces off the lake and dances across the cavern walls, casting shifting patterns that feel almost alive. The caves aren't static. They ripple with the rhythm of light and water, changing their mood with every hour of the day. Step into the marble cathedral, one of the most iconic formations, and you'll find yourself surrounded by columns and arches so perfectly shaped. They seem the work of ancient artisans, but they weren't built. They were whispered into being. Over 6,000 years by the patient lap of water against rock. What makes the caves truly surreal is their color, not just the marble's natural veining, but the way the lake reflects and transforms everything. On a clear morning, the water glows electric blue, illuminating the stone from below. On overcast days, the caves seem to retreat into cool, silver silence, like the halls of an underwater palace hidden from the world. The caves are remote, fragile, and rarely crowded. No roads lead directly here. To visit is to commit to the journey, a multi-day trek through wild Patagonian terrain, followed by a quiet ride across the lake's mirror-smooth surface. But for those who make it, the marble caves offer a moment of transcendence, a place where rock flows like water, where silence is sacred, and where earth reveals its softest, most delicate side. At the farthest edge of the earth, surrounded by endless ice and silence, stands a mountain that burns. Mount Erebus. Rising from the frozen continent of Antarctica is both a marvel and a mystery, the southernmost active volcano on the planet, and one of the only places on Earth where you can look down into a lava lake while standing in a world of snow. It sounds impossible, but it's real. From a distance, Erebus seems like any other Antarctic peak, cloaked in white, serene, and silent. But as you draw closer, you see steam curling from its crater, even in temperatures that can freeze your breath solid. And then you hear it, a distant rumble, deep and slow, like the planet breathing. Mount Erebus is always awake. Inside its summit crater churns a rare and persistent lava lake, glowing red beneath a crust of ancient ice. It's one of only a handful of permanent lava lakes on Earth. This makes Erebus more than a volcano. It's a living window into Earth's fiery heart. Discovered in 1841 by the polar explorer James Clark Ross, it was named after the Greek god of darkness. Fitting because Erebus is both beautiful and terrifying, a collision of extremes. Here, fire and frost do not cancel each other out. They coexist, creating ice chimneys, towering hollow columns of frost that rise around the crater vents, sculpted by escaping steam that freezes instantly in the 60-degree C air. And yet, amid this frozen chaos, life exists. Microscopic organisms live in the cracks near the fumaroles, enduring temperatures and chemical conditions that mimic those on Mars. It's no wonder NASA scientists come here to study what life might look like beyond Earth. But Mount Erebus is not just for science. It's for those who seek awe. To stand here, to feel the rumble beneath your boots, to see smoke rise from a mountain of ice, to look down into molten stone while wind howls across a desolate white, is to realize that Earth is not quiet. It's not still. It's not finished. Erebus teaches us that beneath even the coldest places, fire still burns. At first glance, they look like something out of a fairy tale, as if giants once roamed these lands and left behind scoops of earth, like neat dollops of chocolate mousse. But these are real. Welcome to the chocolate hills of Bohol. A geological oddity so unique and whimsical, it seems to defy natural law. Scattered across a 50-square-kilometer area of the Philippine island of Bohol, more than 1,200 perfectly rounded hills rise from the lush, green plains like an army of nature-made gumdrops. During the dry season, their grass covering turns a rich cocoa brown, hence the name Chocolate Hills. The rest of the year, they remain a vivid green, blending into the surrounding forests like camouflage giants sleeping under a leafy quilt. But here's where the mystery deepens. No one truly knows how they formed. Scientists believe they're the result of ancient coral deposits, uplifted from the sea and sculpted by millennia of erosion. Water wore away the softer rock, leaving these limestone mounds behind in surreal uniformity. Yet even with explanations, the sheer regularity and scale of the hills spark myths that science can't quite silence. Local legends offer their own poetic theories. One tale says the hills were formed by a giant grieving a lost love, whose tears solidified into the earth. Another speaks of two feuding titans hurling boulders at each other, only to leave the battlefield as friends, their war remnants becoming the hills. What makes the Chocolate Hills truly astonishing is their symmetry and silence. Climb one, and you're treated to a panorama that's unlike any other. Waves of rounded hills stretching as far as the eye can see, undisturbed by modern development or man-made interference. It's a visual rhythm, Earth folding itself into soft repetition. The landscape is protected, preserved as a natural monument and a symbol of Philippine pride. And yet, despite its fame, the Chocolate Hills still feel like a secret waiting to be discovered, especially by those seeking wonder in the quieter corners of the world. No gimmicks, no illusions, just nature unexpectedly playful. These incredible places, carved by time, fire, water, and ice, whisper secrets about our world's beauty and fragility. They remind us that Earth is alive, constantly changing, and full of wonders that challenge what we think is possible. So next time you feel small or lost, remember these marvels: the glow beneath the waves, the fire beneath the ice, the hills shaped by legends, all calling us to marvel, to protect, and to never stop exploring. If this journey stirred your soul, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, because the story of Earth's magic is just getting started. Until next time, keep your eyes wide open and your heart ready for the next wonder.